Rogers TV.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us, or send us your feedback through social media.
You're watching Rogers TV.
Today, I helped a parent feed their family by connecting them to a food program.
Today, I helped someone connect with mental health supports.
Today, I helped a couple struggling to pay their bills access financial aid.
Every day, 211 navigators connect Canadians to critical government and community programs and services.
211. Help starts here.
You're watching Rogers TV St. John's.
If you want convenience, Marie's Mini Mart is here for you. A one-stop shop for a variety of products, home-style breads, sandwiches, plus check out our freshly baked artisan breads and single-serve desserts exclusively at our in-store bakery on Frecker Drive. With 25 locations, wherever you go, there we are.
Yellow Belly food means fresh food. We source our ingredients locally and prepare them from scratch. Our meat is never frozen. Food's so delicious, we've got good times cornered. Yellow Belly Brewery, a proud sponsor of One Chef, One Critic.
Today in my kitchen, we have the battle of the broadcast journalists. We know they report the news, but let's see who grabs our headline as Scoff Off winner.
Ground turkey. I don't think I've ever used ground turkey before.
I was terrified at the beginning and through most of it. That was my first thought. It's like, okay, I'm gonna have to cook some meat that don't give someone some illness, including probably myself if I have to eat it.
Hi, welcome to Scoff Off. I'm your host, Brenda O'Reilly. Scoff Off is a lighthearted cooking competition where we take two guests, a secret basket of ingredients, and only 20 minutes on the clock. And today we have two fantastic guests, two news reporters from NTV. Hello, Dave Salter, how are you?
Hi, good, excited, very nervous, terrified actually, but good otherwise.
But you're used to the camera, so this part of it is easy.
Yeah, this part's easy. The rest of it, maybe not so much.
So you cook at home?
Cook, that's a loose term. I feed myself at home. How about that? I don't know, but cook, microwave stuff, maybe the barbecue.
Oh, barbecue. Most guys say barbecue.
It's a mess. Other things Beth can tell you about probably later.
And this is Beth Penney, of course. And how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, thank you. So do you cook at home?
I do. I cook at home as much as I can, but still I don't cook a whole lot. So I think Dave thinks that I have a lot more cooking experience than him, but I don't think that's true. I probably cook 3 times a week, like a dinner 3 times a week.
So you guys seem like you're thinking it's about even.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
I would still say I
has a
have
pretty
a lot
big
more
advantage.
experience than
Yeah,
Dave.
yeah. I'm just really, really bad. It's not that she's so particularly great, I would say. No offense, but I'm probably just terrible. So that would give her a pretty
But that makes this
significant
interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. I can't wait to see what you do. So when we come back, we'll open up the basket. Stay tuned to Scoff Off. Hi, welcome back to Scoff Off. Now guys, before we open the basket, I gotta go over the rules. So there's 30 points in total. There's 10 points for the use of your basket ingredient. There's 4 ingredients in there, so you gotta use something of everything. You don't have to use everything of everything, but, and if you wanna enhance your basket at all, there's the whole pantry behind us and whatever's in the fridge. All right, no pressure though.
I'm so nervous.
But remember, I do have to eat it.
Yeah.
There's 10 points for presentation, and there's 10 points for taste. 30 points in total. And all the pots and pans you can use right here, and plates, and your cutlery is in front of you. And so everything you should need is in front of you. But if you want something or need something, an ingredient or what, ask me and I'll tell you if we have it, or I'll tell you, direct you to where it is. That's the only help I can give you though. I can't sub in as a sous chef or nothing.
Okay.
Okay guys, now we can open your baskets.
Okay,
so we have a chili sauce and sweet potatoes, corn medley, and we have some ground turkey. Okay guys, it's time to scoff off.
Ground turkey. I don't think I've ever used ground turkey before.
As I'm opening it up, I'm like, wow, there's like meat here that could be bad if I don't cook it properly. I have to cook some things. These things and these things need to be cooked as to this. I'm just, my first thought is that I'm going to need multiple pans, I guess, right? I'm not probably.
So, but what kind of dish are you thinking?
So I'm thinking I'm going to have a ground turkey dish and with some sweet potato and corn with some chili sauce mixed in. I don't know what I'm going to call that. Maybe Dave's surprise.
Dave's surprise, okay. What about yourself, Beth?
I'm also thinking...
Throw it all in the pan.
Throw it all in the pan first, and then I think the creative process is really going to come out strong.
Don't forget some oil in that.
Yeah.
Little hint.
Vegetable oil.
So you guys are both, news reporters, anchors. You got shows you're presenting. Just throw it here. I'll look after the garbage later. on NTV. So Dave, you've been in the industry for quite a while.
Yeah, so I started at Rogers Television. Yay. Started doing hockey stuff and then worked up to doing Out of the Fog. Co-hosted that with Chris Zabrodowski for a couple years.
And that was a really high-rated show.
Yeah. There was a period where they say it was the highest rated show in Canada. At the time, I was told. So that was a lot of fun, and it used to be good when you were on it. I never thought about that at the moment, but yeah, now that you say, I guess that was kind of a compliment to me, and maybe not so much to you, but I'm sure it was obviously unintentional. And if we ever were good, it had nothing to do with me being on it. So yeah, and then got into public relations, did that for a while, and then at the advanced age that I am now, a few years ago, I guess it's almost 4 years ago now, NTV reached out to me and offered me a job, and here I am.
And to come back home, right?
Yes, and to come back. That's right. I was living in Nova Scotia because I was working with the Ice Caps in public relations, and that team moved to Montreal, and I moved to Nova Scotia for work, and now I'm back at NTV. So yeah.
Yeah. So but Beth, you're new. You came right out of school.
Yes. Yep. Right out of school.
Right to NTV.
And started working at NTV. So I've been there almost 5 years now. And I love it. It's so much fun. Me and Dave sit right next to each other, and that can be a blessing and a curse. By a curse, I mean that I do a lot of his work for him.
We have a few laughs.
We have a lot of laughs, and that's why when you asked me to be on the show, the first person I thought about was Dave, because I said it would be really funny because Dave does live this bachelor kind of lifestyle,
not the exciting bachelor lifestyle, the really lame, confused, childlike lifestyle. I think I'm just kind of the typical buffoon bachelor, so I'm an easy target in that regard, kind of doesn't know what he's doing, like with the cooking.
Well, if we have pizza at work, Dave is taking the pizza home with him, because that's what he's gonna have for supper later that night.
Dave, you can't use skip the dishes today or anything like that.
Yes.
I noticed you're both using knives and forks, and we have all this beautiful cooking things.
I know, we're both. I don't know if I need to use all this. Are you using all of it?
Well, you're only making one dish.
See, I'm taking some home with me, though, probably, right? So that's my strategy.
Planning for later.
All right.
So, Dave, journalism is, can be a very challenging job.
Yes.
Because you've got tight deadlines.
Right.
So how do you deal with the stress of those deadlines every day?
It helps if you're organized and you kind of can plan your day. And once you've done it for a while, you can generally know how long things will take to edit.
Well, I hope Dave realizes he's not going to get to edit this episode.
Yeah, but there's other times where there's breaking news. And you just have to roll with it. And we always seem to get it in before deadline.
So, do you prefer the planned stories or the breaking news?
Well, it's it all depends. If there's breaking news at 5:30 and the show starts at 6, that can be stressful because you're trying to get all that information down. Do I have a pan?
Yeah, over here.
Right. Look for the pan, Dave.
Sorry, that's right. It's not there. Yeah, so that can be it can be fun though too and exhilarating at times, but you're always cognizant of a deadline that you have, right?
Yeah. So I love when people are cooking, they tend to copy each other, right? So
yeah, you notice I've been cheating, looking over at Beth, what's she doing?
It's every guest ever. It's really cool.
I can tell that Dave is cheating. I think he's done that all throughout school, and he's definitely cheating here. Dave keeps us all really entertained at work, so he told me I could tell this story when he mentioned earlier about the microwave.
Yeah.
Dave one time...
Talk about deadlines, sort of.
And it's kind of about deadlines, too.
Right.
He was running late for work one morning. This was about maybe last year. I can't remember, or like maybe 6 months ago. I can't never keep track of time. And he said that he. This is going to be G-rated, right? This is pretty G-rated.
Yes, I think so.
It's under. It's
I have no
underwear
shame that I'm willing to let you tell this story.
So he was doing laundry, and he realized that in the dryer, his underwear was still a little tiny bit wet, but he was going to be late for work.
And it was the only pair. I had no clean underwear. Typical bachelor guy. I'm scrambling. I got to get to work. There's no underwear. There's underwear here in the washer, but it's wet. How do I get this dry quickly?
And so then he thought the solution, because Dave obviously doesn't know how a microwave works, he seriously thought that he was going to dry his underwear in the microwave. And then I didn't believe him. I was like, Dave, you are kidding. You're a grown man. Like, there's no way that you actually did that. And then he went home for lunch and sent me photos of his underwear that had like burn holes in them.
I can only describe it as fire holes. Like, there was just holes through them that I didn't realize that actually caught, like there was a blaze. I thought it just had smoked and heated up. I didn't realize they were actually singed. So they went directly in the garbage. Don't microwave your underwear if you want to dry your
Beth,
stuff quickly.
are you thinking about pasta?
I was. I think I'm going to try those noodles.
Okay.
And Dave, just because...
First thing you have to do really quickly is put the water on.
Is put the water on. Dave, I'm going to give you a little bit of this because you just told that story.
I didn't mean to hijack it from you.
No.
It's, I'm not certainly proud of it.
I want to ask you now a question about, what has been your favorite story that you've covered? Like, it does, obviously happy stories are better. But like from a journalist perspective, like what gave you the greatest satisfaction?
I think, what's my favorite story?
Sink over there.
I think one of my favorite stories, I do a segment on Monday evenings and it's called Silver Linings. So I think a silver lining means something a little different to Dave. Have you seen his hair? That's a really great chance for like once a week just to tell a positive news story, you know what I mean? And so it's and especially like to start your week with something really positive. So I've gotten to do so many nice stories. Some of my favorite are like tourism related stories.
Yay.
But I, last year, right when they lifted the COVID restrictions, thank you. Am I getting a little too much help right now? I don't care. Right when they had lifted the COVID restrictions, and that was in May, I believe. I can't fully remember. But then that summer, I went and I did a tourism series across the province, and it was so much fun. And you could just tell, like, for the tourism operators, they were
and people were so desperate to have
things open, especially in rural parts of the province where they're so reliant on that summer season and having their businesses operating. That it's so nice and hard. Like, I'm sure I could think of 1,000 stories now, but off the top of my head, I just love those ones. And it's true what they say, like when you get into the rural parts of the province too, that like Newfoundland hospitality and everyone is so kind. And
so you mentioned COVID. Now, Dave, during COVID, like the news changed, right?
Yes, in many ways.
Everything changed, but so reporting the news changed. So obviously a lot of things were virtual and remote. So how did that affect you? I mean, you've been in the industry a while.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Beth can't escape me. We actually separated our newsroom into two buildings. So we had the main building, the NTV building on Logie Bay Road, and there's a satellite building behind called 107, because it's numbered 107. So they moved about half of the newsroom down there just because they were afraid of the spread of COVID. So in case, one building caught COVID, the other building could take over and do the news, right? So poor Beth was stuck down with 5 guys. 5, right? Five.
5 guys and me. And I said in that building, there were no windows and no girls. I said it was just me with a bunch of guys and no windows. So, but it ended up being fine, but that's definitely how it changed for us.
There's 10 minutes left.
So that was interesting.
Yeah, you're good. You just got to get that on. So
that was an interesting time for all of us. But just even the way we do news, like even things like FaceTime and Skype, and that we never really used before, have now come kind of commonplace. You don't like to default to that.
Now,
because,
as someone who was being interviewed quite regularly during COVID, I didn't mind the Zoom thing too much.
Yeah,
because I could sit in the comfort of my own house.
Yeah.
And you saw my face. I didn't have to worry about dressing up.
Yeah, like, I mean, you like to do it in person when you can, but sometimes say if someone's in Montreal or they're out of the province or out of the, even the city in rural Newfoundland, we have access to those people now, and that really came to the forefront during COVID. That we just didn't do those sort of things before, right? So I'm doing some sort of mushroom onion medley
Now, you
here.
were involved in politics for a while as well as communications.
Yeah, so I worked in comms for the government here in Newfoundland, and
during the heydays, during the Danny Williams days,
the
right?
Danny era, and then I worked in communications with the government of Nova Scotia as well. So, so that was interesting. I worked under I guess a conservative government here, or a PC government, I should say, and it was an NDP government in Nova Scotia.
Oh wow, that must
when
be
I was there. So that was. So that was
a little
fun.
night and day, I'd suggest.
Yeah, so I've done a little bit of everything, like sports communications, government communications, TV sports, hard news, sports.
So hard question for you now. Who's your favorite hockey team?
I used to be a Montreal.
Right answers only.
I used to be a Montreal Canadiens fan, and now I've sort of morphed into an Ottawa fan. But I'm more of a hockey historian.
So why did you switch?
I just got fed up with the way Montreal was running their team. Their fans were driving me nuts, so yes, and I will say I'm an equal opportunity person in that regard, because I will say Leafs fans are equally insane, but Montreal fans just got to a point where I just couldn't take it. The whole Marc Bergevin era just put me over the top, and I just had to find a middle ground, which is literally, I guess, Ottawa, right in the middle. So.
And Beth, are you a hockey fan?
No, well, you're a hockey fan of one gentleman in particular.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now, being a fan of a hockey player is different.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, am I not allowed to say that? Am I not supposed to say that?
No, you're of course allowed to
I want
say
to
that.
hear it now. Okay, come on.
Ben Cleary of NTV.
Ben Cleary of NTV. There we go.
That's Beth's guy, and he's a big hockey player. He plays senior hockey, and so that I know you're a fan of him.
I'm definitely a fan of him. Outer Cove Marines.
That's right.
Jack Torbay, Logie Bay. I shouldn't have
Outer Cove?
Outer Cove Marines.
Called the Outer Cove.
Big fan.
Big fan. Didn't miss the game.
Well, that town is one town, Outer Cove, Middle Cove, Logie Bay.
And Dave is also a big fan of...
Yeah, I'm a big football fan too. Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah? Football?
Yeah,
like
more of a football.
American football, not
American
soccer.
football, yeah. So when I lived in Toronto, we used to drive down to Buffalo quite a bit, and yeah. So I watch football a lot.
Oh my God, Dave, are you getting nervous?
Dave, what do you got in your dish here? Now you've got...
So I've got this this medley, I'm calling it, of corn and...
I know, I haven't opened the
you got
ground turkey that we mentioned earlier.
Right.
Sweet potato, hopefully it's not burned in the oven. What's that?
Looking better than mine.
No, it's the colors. You see,
right? So she got the same.
And then I've got some sort of onion thing happening here.
The sweet potato that you had, even though it's frozen, it has been pre-cooked.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Just so you know, I know you're heating it up there and roasting it. Which, by the way, when as a chef, like you build flavors, roasting things does build flavors. So that's not a bad thing to do.
So that's great. So we're kind of on the right track. Is that
putting your onions in before?
So
the
whatever
turkey
wine that we don't cook with, if I've opened this, I guess.
Oh, you help
it's
yourself.
mine to take with me.
Trend.
We'll share it. Me and Beth.
Oh, he's going to add a little red wine to his sauce. That's interesting.
He just opened a full bottle of wine to use like that much. He's just trying to save it for later. Hey, Dave. I'm actually feeling the pressure. I think that, Dave, maybe you haven't been cooking as much in the last couple of years, but I think probably in a past life, you were cooking a little more often?
Not really. I think it was an eye-opener for Beth and for myself, through this whole process that, I think she was starting to get a little nervous, which I think terrified her and surprised her.
Yeah, that's our specialty.
Ooh, you know what? I'd say your favorite story. So, like, what has been the most challenging thing you've had to cover?
Oh, I've covered some court stories and things like that. That have been really challenging. Just devastating for people's families and things like that. So that was always hard.
Just put out some of that on now. Just fill your pan up. You put it all in.
Just a little bit. Yeah, that was it.
So I had to put some garlic in for Derek, my buddy Derek.
And so how do you keep your objectivity? Because 4 minutes, you're supposed to be,
You have to.
But I mean, there's some stories you're doing, you got to go, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You got to go, like, that's just crazy. Like, but you still got to be objective.
It is, you have to be objective, even though there are some stories that it's kind of, everyone, it's hard to say, but about probably everyone would have the same opinion. Some of those just terrible court stories, everyone's going to feel so much sympathy for a family. Yeah. And, but Dave had a really rewarding story, and we talk about this one a lot, helping this man get like a life-saving medication, and so that must have been a really rewarding one for you.
That was a cool one. It was a gentleman who was having issues just digesting food. He couldn't keep any food, and he was dying. And so we did his story, and there was this big groundswell in the community fundraising for him to get this medication. And then his MHA, Chess Crosby at the time, found out about the story and ended up getting him the medication, getting him the medical coverage for him for this thing. So it was like a three-part thing. Here's this guy dying, here's the community support, and here's the conclusion that yes, this medication was approved for him. And that was kind of the third story of the piece. And it was that was pretty cool. You know, I haven't done a ton of those, but that was one I did pretty early on.
Yeah.
That I was very happy with.
Yeah. And it just means so much when you can make a difference like that, and sometimes you don't realize how you know how much of a difference you really can make, you know, but going to the media sometimes when you're in a bind like that, sometimes like that's their final option.
Right.
And then you just feel so happy that you could really help make a difference for them. And I know you felt that with that family. This is probably pretty good.
I'm gonna switch mine.
Pre-cooked.
I don't know what to Have you had sweet potato?
Oh yeah.
You had it last night?
Yeah. I had it last night. We went to the Legion after work last night for just one glass of wine, you know, and after
and some sweet potato fries.
A group of us, and
yeah, it's kind of one of our hangouts is the Legion in Pleasantville.
love
If anyone
the
wants to
Legion.
meet a celebrity like Beth Penney, sometimes you'll see her down there.
Good to know. There are other places downtown that are lovely too.
Yes.
I eat a lot of Yellow Belly nachos.
Yes.
I do.
It's not going to get you extra points.
The Underbelly is one of my favorite places.
Yeah, that's a place to go hide away, isn't
Yes.
it?
It's a great. You've said this to me before. It's a great date spot, like because
It is
it's
a great date
dark,
spot. When on the rare
candles.
occasions that I have one of those, it's one of my favorite places to go. Yeah.
All you single women pay attention.
I know. That's what I said to Dave. Dave, you could land yourself.
After this performance today.
What am I doing here? Okay.
So you got 2 minutes left,
Oh my
and,
God,
and you actually have to plate as well.
We have
so
to plate in 2 minutes.
I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
just letting you know.
Ooh,
2 minutes is a long time in cooking.
2 minutes is a long time.
Yes, you're going for the pretty plate.
I am going for the pretty
Yes, so
plate.
Dave, you do some anchoring as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's fun. Yeah, I like that.
So when
Yeah.
you do that, do you have to, like, are the stories fed to you then, or are you creating
Yeah, so
content, or?
basically everyone in the newsroom, you know, contributes to story generally.
Yeah.
And then we have to, you know, kind of rank them in order of, I guess, for lack of, I won't say importance, but maybe newsworthiness, timeliness.
Sure, yeah.
And so then we, you know, those stories are all assembled in order. Yeah, we got the teleprompter that we read off, and you know, we obviously the scripts we have to edit them to make sure
Right.
they're right and accurate and all that stuff.
Yeah, so Beth,
And,
when you first started at NTV now, you know, Tony Marie Wiseman, Lynn Burry, you know, Glenn
Right.
Carter, Fred Houghton. These are all people, I know he's not working there, but these are all people that we know because they're in our living rooms every night.
Right.
How did you feel when you walked in there?
I felt like pretty intimidated, but I could not get over how kind everyone was. I always said that. Like
1 minute, guys.
Okay, especially like Tony Marie, like she was like from the beginning calling me her work daughter and everything, and
You know, to take the path.
Take past that.
Well,
I would never call Beth my work daughter. She's my work wife.
I am.
A much younger work wife.
A much younger work wife. And I couldn't, and everyone was so kind, and I can remember, you know, and Lynn Burry was there when I first started, and she was so helpful to me with things that you don't think, like, you know, your reading voice, you know, people can say mean things.
Take the cover off. I know he caught that one.
People can say funny things,
how you
like I
use
think
it.
I was sounding like a robot when I was reading my stories first starting off because I was young and I didn't really know what I was doing.
Right.
And so people would write in, that new girl, she kind of sounds like a robot. And I was like, oh no, like what am I going to do? And so then everyone was really helpful. There you go. And now I sound like less of a robot, I think. So I don't see those emails anymore.
You just got a few seconds left now.
A few
Get that
seconds,
on your plate.
okay.
I don't think you sound like a robot.
I think if I look back at old stories, I'm like, yeah, they had a point. I sounded like a robot. And that's okay.
All right, let's get that on your plate now, Dave.
Okay. Oh, you got
Dave, don't look at what I'm doing.
Well, now, I'm going to come over here next to you guys as you finish those two plates.
From this on the floor here.
This is looking like a really tight competition here. And when we come back, we're going to see who wins. Stay tuned to Scoff Off. Welcome back to Scoff Off. Well, that was a lot of fun, guys. It went by so quickly.
It did go quick.
I had a whole bunch of more questions for you guys.
Oh my goodness, it went by too fast.
But I have to do a second episode.
Yes,
okay,
part two.
So Beth, you got a little ambitious and put on some pasta.
And I put on some pasta with a lot of your help, but still, I'm not confident
I'm not
that it's
quite sure it's
fully
100% cooked. And it's still sitting underneath the mixture. Might have cooked a little bit more because the heat.
That's true. So maybe go for like an underneath piece.
So do you have all your ingredients? So I see sweet potato.
Yeah.
Both of you are really creative with sweet potato, so that's kind of even. And you did the same thing with your mixture, except for I think they put a little more ingredients in there. Let's see how it tastes.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so you got everything in there.
You got everything in there.
Okay, let's go. Here we go. Okay, not quite sure. Now the pasta's not the star of the dish, but it is part of your plating experience here.
The pasta made it look prettier, but
Did.
I'm sorry if you're about to chew on some raw pasta
No, I
right
don't
now.
know.
Like, what are those
I do wanna
candy
do.
things? Those they used to be like the stripe, the pull. Who knows I'm talking
Oh, like a
about?
licorice.
Yeah, like a licorice.
Yeah.
Those licorice string things. That's what your
Not bad.
pasta
Not
looks like.
bad.
Not bad.
I got a not bad.
Pasta could
Dave.
have been cooked a little bit more,
A
but
little bit more.
yeah, it was almost there.
Yeah,
Another minute
it-
would have been there.
Yep, yep.
Now, Dave.
There's not much there, so.
So I seen you add garlic. I
Yes.
seen you add onions.
Yes.
What else did you add?
I added garlic, onions, and mushrooms.
And mushrooms. Okay. So you got a little bit of mixture in yours.
It's the Hungry Man special right there.
It's true. It's just like
Giant piece of garlic there.
where's that?
That's right there. Or is that an onion? I'm not sure. Are you in flavor country right now?
Are you in flavor country? Flavor.
They're both very good. Beth gets it for presentation, and you both get for your ingredients. But it usually does come down to taste. And today's winner is Dave Salter.
Whoa!
Dave, no one is going to expect that back at work.
No.
Pure shock.
Remember
that image
That might
was
help you
just
get a
then?
date. Anyway, that's it for this episode of Scoff Off. We'll see you soon. Oh, what a fun show. These guys are clearly good friends and don't take themselves too seriously. It was close, but Dave Salter gets the headline as the winner of Scoff Off.
As painful as this is, Dave, I want to say congratulations.
Thank you very much, Beth. I know you must feel humiliated right now.
I do feel humiliated,
I don't blame
but
you.
I think my presentation was the overall winner and maybe your taste. And you know what? Just because you're living that bachelor lifestyle, I have something for you. Here you go.
Oh, is this my creation?
It's your creation.
Wow, you probably want to share some of this.
I actually was eating yours before we came back.
The shock, though, Beth, the Miracle on Ice, 1980, you probably don't remember that. Probably considered the biggest upset in sports. I would say this is the biggest upset in cooking history today.
I think so, too.
Not that you're particularly known, renowned.
No.
I'm just so pathetic. So to lose to me must be particularly, as I said, humiliating.
It is humiliating, but you know what? I think we'll make it through. Congratulations again.
Got something good to eat anyway, we know that.
Focused on quality and convenience, there isn't much you won't find at Marie's Mini Mart. Home-style bread, sandwiches, plus a variety of artisan breads and delicious single-serve desserts available exclusively at our Frecker Drive location. Marie's Mini Mart, with 25 locations wherever you go, there we are.
Yellow Belly food means fresh food. We source our ingredients locally and prepare them from scratch. Our meat is never frozen. Food's so delicious, we've got Good Times Corner. Yellow Belly Brewery, a proud sponsor of One Chef, One Critic.
If you have a comment about this program,